All right, so let's see what the next recipe is. Custom image block style. Okay, so let's look at that one. All right, again, we're gonna take the standalone version of this. I'm gonna get out of here, kill that, back into CD, or sorry, back to the plugins. We're gonna do that. All right, so on the main plugin file, we should only contain, it's gonna contain a single stub function. So let's see what we got in here. So in here, I'm gonna just close this. So we should have stub function. We do. So let's see, what do we do next? So what we want to do is we're going to register a block style and we're going to associate it with a particular block. So let's take this, we're going to put it inside of our register block styles function. We're going to drop it in there. And so now we should have a block style, right? So far we don't need the name. We still need to find this here. There are two ways to do this. Okay, so we can do this in two different ways. We define the style. In fact, I don't actually, let's check and see if it even shows up at this point. So we're going to go into, what is this? I'm going to call this taped image. So I'll go, I'm going to do image block. I'm going to, from the media library, I'm going to pick this Scarlet thingy-mabob. Oh. I will give you 10 seconds to figure out why it doesn't work. Boom. There we go. We're going to deactivate the block too. There's the pound excerpt. If I refresh this now, do I have, I do. So I have tape, but it doesn't do anything because we're not loading any CSS. So we've registered our image style. So we can register inline styles, right? Update the register block. Okay, so we can do this just by doing it all inline like this, which I will just grab that, I think. And we can go plug it in here. We can add all our CSS inline, which you can see is already super fun. And then I think if we refresh this now, cancel, I'm gonna save it up. Gonna refresh this. Grab that image now, and I come over here. See, I don't know if you can see that. I'm just gonna move the bar up top here, top toolbar. So you can see we have this little like piece of tape on there. That's cool. That looks great. This, I personally, I wouldn't do this personally. This is just me because I don't like it because it's very brittle. But so luckily for us, you can do it another way. We can also just enqueue an external file as well. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get rid of the inline style stuff like that. All right, jump back over here. We're just going to enqueue a style sheet instead. And I think we can just do this in the same function right here. Right, and all we're going to do is we're going to enqueue the block style for core image. The handle is just whatever we're going to call it. And then we're just looking for the CSS. So now if we come back over here, should save the draft. I'm just going to turn the style off just so we can see that it's working. And grab this, do this, boop, tape. And now it's visually the same thing, but now instead of it being part of the inline style, it's CSS that we can then enqueue, and we can show that if you go into inspect and we zoom in, you can see if we go to sources and we go to page, we go to WP content, you can see that we're actually pulling in the CSS here as opposed to doing it inline. Sweet. And that's it. That's it. We're done. Carry